Welcome back. The Johannesburg Festival of Women Writers will be taking place tomorrow at the University of Johannesburg's Institute of Advanced Studies. The festival aims to highlight the work of female writers while also speaking to readers and unknown or emerging authors. To tell us more about the festival, I'm joined by reading activist and organizer of the Johannesburg Festival of Women Writers, Lorraine Sithole. A very good afternoon to you, Lorraine. Thank you so much for coming through into studio and joining us. We don't speak a lot about this, do we? We don't speak a lot about how there's so much women talent in literature, and I don't even want to leave it just to literature, but also women writers creatively on TV and such spaces, you know, but we've got so much creativity in women, and yet it's either not given an opportunity, actually not even, it's not even choices, not even different, it's not given an opportunity. Women are not given an opportunity. Their creativity is not given an opportunity. Why is that?
Thank you so much for having me, and I'm so excited to be talking about this festival that's taking place tomorrow. Precisely that, because women are not primarily put on the spotlight when it comes to writing, poetry, screenwriters, storytellers. We saw it very important to put this festival together. And if you look at this festival, this is not a book-based festival. Yeah. This is a celebration of women voices across generations.
So what exactly can people expect? What are you putting together? What are you putting there that South Africans can, when we start to notice the creativity that women have in terms of their writing, what are we going to see?
We have curated a fantastic program with 7 sessions taking place, and one of them will be solely dedicated to children's writing. I mean, this year falls into the year of indigenous languages as declared by the United Nations, and we saw it was very imperative to not only speak about indigenous languages as we do across the nation, but to showcase what storytellers, writers, especially female writers and storytellers have to offer. We're also looking at fiction. I mean, fictional stories they were much needed, especially during COVID, when we couldn't gather together in such spaces. So we're looking at fiction, trends in fiction, where is fiction going, who is writing, what are they writing about, and what is the impact, the global impact on the stories that are coming from the country. We're also looking at academic writing. I mean, readers like myself who do not have an academic background, how do you then position such books for someone like me who enjoys reading?
You know, when you talk about storytellers, the first thing that pops into my mind is when you say storytellers, but you see, that's the issue though, is that you have one renowned storyteller where you are in a country full of, firstly, stories, and secondly, women that know these stories, thirdly, women that know how to tell these stories probably a lot better than the men do, and yet the industry is not being opened. Is the festival going to do that? Is the festival going to offer an opportunity for young unknown talent, up-and-coming talent, aspirant talent to showcase itself and what it can do, whereas other spaces, more commercial, more, you know, prestigious spaces have been unable to? Is that are you going to allow for young ones who are trying to get in to get in?
Exactly the mission of this festival, because we're also looking at not just this festival being a book-based festival. We are having industry-wide conversations, and if you look through the program, the session where Grina is, we have a lot of upcoming and young emerging poets as well as story writers. We have Khomolemo Mokae there, we have Langeli Shekhatebe, who just published her first collection of poetry. It came out literally 3 weeks ago. So it was very, very important to be able to bring in young talent against established voices. Also, it's a sharing of ideas, and like you rightly said, that, you know, we only know of one prominent person. What happens to the rest of those who are writing but are not put out there in the public's eye?
This can never just only but end at a festival, you know, because we're talking literature, we're talking, you know, just writing in general, as you've mentioned, that it's not just a book-based festival. We're talking just writing in general of different mediums, different spaces, different platforms. The matter of education also comes into sharp focus. How can the basic education department, for example, benefit from such a festival? Because if you're also looking at the young those young can still relate to the even younger, your 13, 12, 11-year-olds who are still in primary school. How can the education space benefit from a festival of this nature?
With the basic education of department, what it has been doing over the years is sponsoring reading initiatives. And a festival of this nature, if you go through the program, we have a lot of stakeholders across industries. So we are looking at the basic education coming in and becoming one of prominent stakeholders as well as sponsors going forward.
Lorraine, why did you start this? I mean, besides being somebody that loves reading, somebody that wants to put out her passion for reading out there, you could have done with your time and your energy so much else, still within the reading space. But why did you decide that you actually know what? Let me bring all these creative brains, these creative geniuses together, and let's make this a real thing. But you know what? Let's empower the woman. Why did you decide to do this?
Wow, I mean, reading for me is such an enjoyable hobby, and more than reading, I also like sharing. And over the years, I have seen how the industry has grown. I mean, in my 20s, there was not so much available for a young black woman coming out of the townships. Yeah. Now, in 2023, we have so many stories coming. We have a lot of young, emerging authors who really need platforms to share their work. And I mean, for me, it's as normal as breathing. And why read all these books and not share them with the rest of the world?
100%. That is such a powerful point. Okay, so we've had this conversation. You've shared your exuberance and excitement about it, and you've caught somebody on screen watching right now that wants to know where, when, how long, and what do I need to do to be part of this?
Fantastic. The festival is taking place at the Johannesburg Business School, 69 Kingsway Avenue in Auckland Park, not far from the SABC. And it's a full day program. We start at 10 and we finish at 4 o'clock. As I said, the program is jam-packed. There is something for everyone, and we are expecting a lot of communities to come in and support the 32 participants who form the program. And the festival is free. You just have to register to come in. But yeah, it's going to be fantastic.
Lorraine, thank you so much for coming through. Thank you so much for sharing this passion with not only myself, not only the guys in the room here, but just the country at large. And I really do hope that the festival becomes a success and it grows leaps and bounds, and not even just only in Gauteng, but it grows across the country. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.